Hi, this is Aishwarya. So for this video, I'm taking you guys online shopping with me. We're gonna play a game. It's called Spot the Shade. So I'm going to Nykaa over here, typing Max Factor Miracle Touch. This is the first shade, Pearl Beige. This is a shade card I made for myself and I showed you in the previous video, in the last week's video of how I make it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you really quickly of how I compare the shades. These are swatches of all the foundations that I have. I know how these foundations look on my skin. So I go on the website here, Pearl Beige. I keep my cursor on this shade card that I have. I keep it on it. And now I have an idea as to what is what. Like these shades, I know what they are and what they look like on my face. This is Estee Lauder Double Camouflage in medium deep. This is cool undertone. This is NC42, the warmest undertone. N125, I know why is written, but actually this is 120. Makeup Forever, this is neutral under. Cool under, we have warm and we have neutral. So this is one reference. And these are all my other foundation shades. Like this is Maybelline 128. This is Lakme CC Cream Beige. Both these are yellow undertone, but Maybelline is a little bit more. Lakme is a little bit more pink. As you can see here, this is like fully yellow, and this has a little bit of that peach to it, which makes it a little more neutral yellow. It's not 100% yellow. So those are the undertones. And if I compare it to this is looking very pink in comparison. If I remove it, if I just look at it this way, it's not looking all that pink. It's looking neutral, but actually it's very pink in undertone. I mean, the shade, of course, you can look at it and make out that it's a fair shade. I mean, just the name Pearl Vanilla, you know, it's for the fair complexion. Let's spot the shade. So this is cool undertone and for very fair people. So I would say it's NW15. This is the next shade, Bronze. On its own, you will think it's yellow. But when you put the shade card next to it, now you can see that it's got a little bit of peach in it. NC25. This is Warm Almond. Now you can make out over here, it's a little tan shade. Like the way to make out is you look at it, you look at the swatch here where it's heavily swatched and you look at it here where it's blended, okay? So this part, you can tell that it's got pink undertones. And you look at the heavy swatch here, you know it's a little tan. So if you are somebody who is pink undertones and your complexion is NW30 shade, if you're somebody who's NW25 but then you got tan and you came to NW30, then this is good for you. Alright, I'm keeping this down. Woo! Now I'm going to the shade Golden Beige. I am comparing it to the shade cards the way I showed, and if I go on the top, it's got a little bit of that neutral undertone. It's still not yellow, but to me this looks like their most yellowest offering which is still neutral in my eyes. Golden Beige, spot the shade. NC35. If you are not all that yellow in complexion, if you are slightly neutral in that case, in fact the whole Max Factor line, this whole Miracle Touch foundation line, it runs rather pink in undertone, leans a little bit more on the cooler spectrum. The next shade is Caramel. Guess the shade. I say NC40. Blushing Beige is a complete pink. It's straight up pink. If you are very fair and you have pink undertones, this is the shade for you. NW15 to NW20. The next one is natural, very neutral undertone, but it's still quite pink. Like it's neutral in the range of what Max Factor is offering here. But I would still say if I am to compare it to other foundations in the market, it's still cool. NW25, but with more pink. Golden Tan to me looks like a good shade for Indian skin, not just because it has the word tan in it, but you look at the swatch, it's got a little bit of pink but also slight yellow I'm seeing in the blended part of the swatch, and we see the heavily swatched area got that tan shade, so a good NC43 shade. And there is Cream Ivory, which is so fair and so pink. If you are somebody who's got that typical gory, chitty kind of complexion, like really fair Punjabi girls have it, really fair UP girls, and I've seen some Kashmiri girls have that as well. It's like a very porcelain kind of a shade, or a vanilla kind of a shade. Really cool and really fair. NC15, or if there is a NC10, then I think this would be it. Does MAC have NC10? Something I noticed, they do have a shade on the website of Max Factor called Sand, which I think is really yellow. And they have two other shades which are slightly yellow. I think Max Factor should have launched those shades in India. I don't know why they do this. Why do they launch the pinker ones They should be like launching the yellower ones. So they have 9 shades in total, which I think is really less. So that's about the shades. Now what shade am I selecting for myself? My gut feeling tells me golden tan, because to me it looks like these shades, since they are cool, I should go darker. If ever you're doing cool undertones, go few shades darker than what your actual skin color is, only if you're neutral. If you are that absolute warm undertone like Rihanna or Priyanka Chopra warm undertone, then I would say steer clear of any pink undertones. Absolutely. I know that the actual match for me, according to the swatches that Max Factor has provided, would be golden beige. Let's add to cart, and now we wait for the product to arrive. This foundation is not something that I'm buying for the first time, but that was many years ago. So Max Factor pulled out of the Indian market. First it was available, then it pulled out, and now it's available again. So I think 5 years ago I used, and warm almond was a good shade, but I felt like it was a little too white for me. So I've gone darker this time. That's about how I select the shade. Now, how do I select the right formulation? What I look for? My skin aesthetic can be best described as glowy AF or glossy AF. In terms of texture, I like a texture that sort of smooths over the pores and the imperfections. And I like it to be really pigmented, medium coverage to full coverage. I like it when foundations sit very close to the skin. They look like a thin veil. So these are the things I look for in foundation, and if they have some skincare in it as well, then I love that even more. I don't have to use primer every day. I can just directly apply it on my skin and I don't have to worry about it damaging my skin. So the formulation of Max Factor says foundation with full coverage. Okay, we will see if it really is full coverage. Formula melts at your touch. Yes, I remember this from using it like 5 years ago. Solid to liquid compact. Okay, contains hydrating hyaluronic acid. I love hyaluronic acid. I've done like 2-3 videos on it. I've done a whole interview with hyaluronic acid, kind of a skit with 3 characters. Love that. Uneven skin textures are covered in smooth. Yes, I like this. I like it when foundations gloss over the uneven texture. They smoothen it, as opposed to, you know, me having to build layers to cover it. Sponge applicator concealed in the lid. We all know I'm not going to use it. I don't even know why they bother giving a sponge applicator, but okay, whatever. Maybe some people like it. Lightweight, super hydrating, gliding over pores, imperfections. If it really glides over pores and imperfections, then this would be like my holy grail texture. Will this be my next holy grail foundation? Let's check it out. Click right here. If you liked my kohl eye look, check out my video on how to use kohl that comes from camphor. This is used in puja with ghanti. I've done this whole eye look using this kohl. Really cooling to the eyes as well. So if you are somebody whose screen time is very high, really good thing for you to put inside the eye. Finishing like this, so not bad.